Okay, so we have this question here. It tells us from the following total utility schedule, colleagues, when you hear the word utility, equate that to satisfaction. Okay, in economics, we're trying to measure satisfaction. All right, so here, obviously, this is the number of units consumed. And this is the total utility. Okay. The top row, number of units consumed. Okay. Bottom row, total utility. Okay. You eat one of this good, your utility is 4. You eat two, your utility is 14. You eat 3 units of this good, your utility is 20. Obviously, in your satisfaction, the more you're consuming this good, your satisfaction is increasing. All right. Yes. So the first part, they tell us derive the marginal utility schedule. So colleagues, when you're in economics, whenever you hear the word marginal, think of extra or additional. All right. Derive the extra or additional utility schedule. Okay. So how you get your marginal utility? This is the official formula. Okay. Your your new total utility minus your old total utility, and then the new consumption, I'll put it as Q. Okay, this number of units here, I'm taking it as Q minus the old number of units. This is how you get your marginal utility. Okay, so you have to put your table like this. Okay, put your number of units here: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you got your utilities here: 0, 4, 14, 20, 24, 26, 26, 24. So we need to get our marginal utilities. All right. So here's the short way of getting our marginal utilities. All right. Because as we can see here, the number of units is just increasing by 1. Okay. So it means here this Q2 minus Q1, always the denominator is always going to be 1. Okay. Because the number of units are increasing by 1. So our denominator here will always be 1. But where there will be some calculations is the top part of the numerator. All right. So when you consume 0 units, your utility is 0. You do not have any marginal utility. You consume 1 unit, your utility increases from 0 to 4. So your marginal utility, you're just going to say 4 minus 0. That gives you 4. So this unit that you consumed has brought an extra satisfaction of 4. Any questions before I move further? It was business mathematics. Okay, okay. So since that's the case, then let's not use the shortcut then. Okay. You only use this shortcut when you see the number of units are increasing by 1. then you can use this shortcut where you're just subtracting. Okay. Okay, so for this marginal utility of 4, you say mu, the new utility was 4, the old utility was 0. The new number of units was 1, the old number of units was 0. 4 minus 0, 4, 1 minus 0, 1. So this is our first marginal utility. Next, we are moving from 1 unit to 2 units. Okay, we're moving from 1 unit to 2 units. So this will be your Q1, this will be your Q2. Okay, then 4 will be your U1 and 14 will be your U2. So you're going to say marginal utility equals 14 U2 minus 4 over 2 minus 1. So 14 minus 4, that is 10. 2 minus 1, that is 1. 10 divided by 1, that is 10. So this is our marginal utility for here. Okay. This second unit brings an extra of 10 utils. Okay, it brings extra satisfaction of 10 utils. Okay, the marginal utility is just the extra satisfaction that unit has brought in. Okay, colleagues, take it like that. The extra satisfaction that thing that unit brings in. Any questions so far? Are we now accustomed to the formula? Now I can use the shortcut. Okay. Is everyone else? You can find you're the only one. The rest, they still want the long cut. Yes, and I believe in the exam, I think you need to show this. I think you need to show this. Okay. Okay, so the shortcut, we're now at 3 units. So you're just going to say 20 minus 14. That gives you 6. So when you have the third unit of this good, it brings an extra satisfaction of 6 utils. When we move to 4 here, just going to say marginal utility 24 minus 20. That gives you 4. So this fourth unit is bringing an extra satisfaction of 4 utils. Move to 5 units. We're going to say 26 minus 24. We're going to get 2. So this fifth unit brings 2 extra utils. Move to when you consume 6 units of this good. So you say 26 minus 6, you get 0. So the sixth unit is not bringing any additional satisfaction. Okay. You consume the seventh unit, you say 24 minus 26, that is negative 2. Are we all okay with this? Any questions before we think we Okay, so it says plot the marginal utility schedules. Okay, this is how we plot it here. Okay, the total utility here, number of units here. Actually, I had to combine, wanted to combine the graph. That's for the total utility. Then for marginal utility, let me just bring them down so we can see them side by side. Yes. Then have you seen for marginal utility? This is the graph. Okay. Just number of units on your x-axis. Then your marginal utility and your total utility will be on your y-axis. So basically, in short, yeah, your utilities will be on the y-axis. So it's just a matter of plotting. Are we okay with these plottings, colleagues? Will you be able to plot in the exam? Mm-hmm. No, no issues. I mean, why should they even give you issues? They don't know what conditions you are plotting in. Maybe they told you it's 30 minutes, so you couldn't start drawing another one. Yeah. But I don't think they'll ever ask you to plot this one. But just in case, remember the utility will be on the y-axis, number of units on the x-axis. Okay, yes, I think there was another question. Okay, so the next part of the question says you have to state where the law of diminishing marginal utility starts. So take note of this point. The law of diminishing marginal utility starts when the marginal utility starts to drop. Okay, when the moment the marginal utility starts to drop, that's where the law of diminishing marginal utility is also, that's where it's going to begin. So we can see here the marginal utility drops where here at point 3 here. That's where it starts to drop. Now I need you to pay attention to this part here. Okay. When the marginal utility is increasing, as you can see here, the marginal utility is increasing 4 to 10. Your total utility increases at an increasing rate. Okay. When marginal utility is increasing, when NU is increasing, you might want to write this down, as Professor Bueno says. You might want to write this down. When marginal utility is increasing, total utility increases at an increasing rate. Increases at an increasing rate. What we mean basically here, have you seen this jump from 4 to 14? It's a big jump. Okay? It's a big jump. Okay? Now, when marginal utility starts to decrease, Okay, when mu starts to decrease, okay, total utility increases at a decreasing rate. Okay, increases at a decreasing rate. This what we mean increasing at a decreasing rate. Have you seen from 20 the jump is just a small jump by 4 units, then by 2 units. Have you seen? Here the increment was by 4 and by 2. Okay. But here the increment was by 10. Okay. And if marginal utility was still increasing, there would have been a bigger jump. But when marginal utility starts to decrease at first, okay, when marginal utility starts decreasing at first, total utility increases at a decreasing rate. So total utility increases at a decreasing rate. Okay, because these same principles, we are going to apply them also in the production theory for marginal product and total product. This same what we've written here is also going to apply in the production theory. Okay, when we're doing law of diminishing marginal returns now. Okay, so when marginal utility starts to decrease, total utility increases at a decreasing rate. Then eventually total utility will fall. After some time, total utility will fall. As you can see here, 26, 26. Then now it starts to fall here eventually. So as we say, the law of diminishing marginal utility, as you consume more of one good, eventually your total utility is going to decrease. Okay. You wouldn't want to add these points here because you make the law very long. Okay. Yes. Any questions? Yes. So the points, I'll repeat them again. When marginal utility is increasing, total utility increases at an increasing rate. When marginal utility starts to decrease, at first, total utility will increase at a decreasing rate. Then eventually, as marginal utility continues to drop, total utility now is going to drop. Now it's become quiet. I thought I was kicked out. Yes, Mr. Vincent, any questions? Mr. Trevor? Okay. Madam Sylvia? Madam Betha? Total, yes. Total utility will increase at a decreasing rate. Later, later it will start decreasing now. Excuse me. It will start decreasing. So here's a better way to put the law of diminishing marginal utility. As you consume more of one good, marginal utility will eventually fall, and then total utility will also eventually fall. I think that way you've captured everything. Okay, the more you consume more of one good, marginal utility will eventually fall, and then total utility is going to fall. And then when you're dealing with these questions, when they ask where does the law of diminishing marginal returns start, it's where marginal utility drops. In production theory, they ask where does the law of diminishing marginal returns start? It's when marginal product starts to drop. So these concepts we're going to find them again in the production theory. They work hand in hand. It's just that the terms change. Then the next part, they ask for the saturation point. It's when marginal utility is zero, meaning there's no more additional satisfaction that you get from there on. Okay, so that is the saturation point.